Well, is it any surprise that a survey of the most stressful jobs shows the most stressful job is people who work in sales, sales assistants, sales support staff who have to deal with really, really difficult customers. And on that note, I'll
Cue the violin music then. Diddums.
I'm throwing across to you.
Cue the violin music. Big deal. The customer is always right. Isn't that one of the central tenets of our life? The way that we go and shop, the way we retail. And how many times have I said customer service in Australia is exceedingly poor and it needs to lift? And yet, what did we have today? A cafe owner calling in and telling us that the customer is not always right and that the big bugbear for people who work in those sort of retail industries are rude customers who are sort of demanding that their toast be cooked a certain colour.
Well, hang on. She was also talking about younger staff being bullied by people who are arrogant. Sometimes they come in groups. These are business people who are bullying younger staff, making it very difficult for them in situations where they are doing their best behind the counter. And in the case you've raised, someone turning up with a colour chart, and saying, this is how I would like my toast done. I want it done to that particular colour.
What's wrong with that? How frustrating is it when you go and order toast and they burn it or they undercook it? There's too much butter, there's too much peanut butter slopped on it, it's a health hazard. You have to approach sometimes your breakfast with a hazmat suit on. It's shocking.
You've had that experience, have you?
Are you telling me that you've never walked into a store and been underwhelmed by the level of service?
Occasionally, but most of the time, the service is very, very good. The people do go out of their way to help.
I'm going to go shopping with you because it's not my experience at all.
See, this is the thing. If you and I, for instance, walked into a very big hardware chain that begins with the name B, we walk in there, I always find that I can get service, I can get someone that can help me, can tell me where something is. You, I assume, wander around like a lost sheep without asking anyone.
That's one of my bugbears. You walk in and you don't find another person to serve you for 20 minutes.
They're everywhere.
It's like you might as well be on the moon.
They're everywhere.
Yeah, but that's because you're a life member. You're there every day.
No, they're everywhere.
You work there, actually, don't you?
They're everywhere. And we began this by saying the most stressful job in the country is serving customers. Would you say you're a typical customer?
I'm a typical average Joe who stands there with a bald head and stares them out.
Survey confirmed.